Hello and welcome back to another weekly replay with me, Hijack, and today I'm bringing you a special double-header replay of two tanks that perform similar, and also I got similar results with them. I think it was on the same day that I played them. So the first one here, I'm playing the Russian tank destroyer at tier 7, the SU-152, sorry, not the ISU, the SU, the tier 7. And I've outfitted this one with the 152mm derp gun. And we're on the map Province, and it's a tier 7, tier 6 match, and you're going to see something really interesting in the next two replays with the way the two tanks that I'm going to be playing handle. And they're very similar, and as I said, I got very similar results. So the SU-152 has the 152mm derp gun, which I got here. So the downfall of this tank, oh, that was a beautiful shot, is its slow aim time and slow reload. Now, it is a high explosive shell, but I'm firing the premium rounds, the heat shell, just because, well, why not go full out? And as you saw there, I killed that VK3001P with a single shot, hitting him in the ammo rack and taking him out. So that was 1,040 points of damage right there. And there's the next shot I take on the T-34-100, knowing that he was coming up that ramp, and hits him big for 818 damage. That's the thing with this tank. It has a lot of stopping power, but you pay for it in your slow shooting and your slow aiming time. As you can see there, I could have taken the shot there, but I'm going to take out the shot on this Tiger 1, who I hit for 714 and then set him on fire, but his automatic fire extinguisher prevented me from getting any extra further damage. Now, one thing to I'm struggling to get a line here. So I like this tank because of that. The derp gun is, and that's what everybody calls it, by the way, if you're wondering why I'm referring to the word derp, is it does a lot of damage, but it doesn't always penetrate. When it penetrates, it'll do big damage, but you get splash damage as well. And part of the best ways to play this tank is to pay attention to the map and know where your enemies are going to go. Like that T-34-100, he was going to back up. There was nowhere else for him to go, and I waited for him to make that mistake and capitalized on it. And that's what you do, is you wait for people to make mistakes and you capitalize on them. The same can be said for any tank, but in this one specifically, you need the enemies to go out into open spots where you're already pre-aimed and everything like that. So the team is up 7-3. Now, Province is kind of a weird map where you don't see it a whole lot in a tier 7 tank. It is one of my favorite maps to play at lower tiers just because you can have so much fun on it. But generally, this map you don't see very often. So I'm going to aim in on that VK3601H, but unfortunately, as soon as I clicked the button, he was killed already, which, was an expensive shell. Now, like I said, I'm using all heat rounds on this tank, so each shell is very, very expensive. You do not make money playing this tank. And, well, at least very rarely anyways, because each shell is several thousand credits. So I'm looking at that P43 Biz to see where he is on the map. He's down that ramp there. So I'm going to try and see if he's going to come up. And I'm always paying attention to other things, where the enemies are, and so forth. So you can see we've won the 9-0 line, and we're pretty much pushing up the 1-2 line. And I'm just looking for the people, because a lot of times you'll get guys camping over in this square here and this square here. So I'm waiting to see if one of them pops up, and I can shoot them through the little arches there. Now, at this point in the match, I've decided that I'm going to be pushing forward up the 3 line. Because there is that E25 up there on the balcony. And that's a good sniping position to shoot down this lane here. But we do have a lot of cover. And then there's a KV-2, so the enemy Russian heavy tank with the derp gun also. So I'm going to just get into a better position. I was thinking at this point, sitting in this bush here. And I actually drive right through the bush, apparently. And I'm looking at where it's available. I don't know where the P43 Biz is, and all I know where the E25 and the KV-2 is. But there's this wall right here. For some reason, this wall is indestructible, and I don't know why. but it is a great hull down location, and you'll see me use it here in a second. I'm just going to aim at that KV-2. I just saw the top of his turret. That was a 1 in a million shot, and I took it, and it caught him for 612 points of damage. That puts me at 3,523 points of damage and 3 kills so far this match. Like, that's insane. So you can see I'm getting into position around this wall, right down at the bottom of the map there. This wall is indestructible, so it gives me a nice hull down spot. So I track that E25 for only 100 and... No, I didn't track him for anything. Track for 0, but he took 193 damage from somebody else. And I'm just waiting for him to reload, and he hits me once. And I hit him back for 160, taking them out of the game. That's kill number 4. 3,683 points of damage. There's the P43 biz. He's moved all the way across, so I'm going to auto-aim and just wait for my reload to happen. And he's so nice to just stop right there. And I shoot him to take him out for 722 points of damage. Matches like this, they don't happen very often, but when they happen, it's like the enemies just stop in front of your gun and just let you shoot them repeatedly. And it's amazing. So I'm hoping the Challenger drives out into this little gap here and I can shoot him. But there is still one more tank, this Stayer, who hasn't been spotted yet. And I don't know where he is, and I'm hoping that I can find him. The Challenger is going to take damage from both sides. He's in a crossfire right now. You can see our T28 HTC down here in this corner, and our IS-2S up there are basically getting him in a crossfire. Plus, there's the Super Hellcat and the AMD. So this Challenger is pretty much dead, and he's pretty smart. He's knowing not to push to fall back too far because he knows the T28 is back there and can shoot him, and he probably knows that I'm there as well. So we're just going to wait and see what happens at this point. The match should be winnable. The T28 HTC does the smart move of putting himself in the cap to push the pressure on the Challenger and the Stayer in order to win the match. So the SU-152 is an amazing tank for that reason, but it does have its ups and downs. It sometimes does not get good matches and other times does as well. Its view range is lacking. It's not super great, but you can have a lot of fun with those derp type guns. Now I'm at 5 kills and 4,500 points of damage, and we'll see the Stayer here. I'm kind of guessing the Stayer is up in these bushes just by the fact that he hasn't been spotted yet. And this back ridge here is all covered with soft foliage, which makes it great for snipers. So you'll see him actually. He's going to park. He's going to come YOLOing down the hill because he knows he has to stop the T28 HTC in order to win the match, get a reset, and maybe hold on for a little bit longer. Artie's going to start blind firing those trees. And yeah, so we're going to see here. He's got 30 seconds to make a move. Match is pretty much won unless he gets the resets, but he doesn't. I don't think he counts on me being up here. And you'll see why in a second, because I'm going to get a lucky shot. Not as lucky as it could have been, but lucky enough. There he is. He gets spotted. He's going for the reset. I take the shot. I hit him for 671, and the T28 HTC takes him out. And I got the win with 5 kills and 5,076 points of damage. Okay, for the second replay, we're playing the FV4005, the Tier 10 British tank destroyer with also the derp gun on it. Now, and I'm also using full HESH ammo for the premium rounds because you kind of have to have the fun with this tank. So it's an expensive tank to play. I think it's about 8,000 credits per shell. And we've got 2 T49s with the derp guns as well. So, we're on the map. What are we on? We're on Live Oaks, which is an interesting map. It's got 2 major laneways. You've got your heavies, which usually fight in the town area up here. And you've got your lights and mediums, which will scroll down and fight over this gap, or the dip as they call it. Now, the TDs, like me, usually will sit in this corner here, where the Sheridan is, and that's because we've got some nice soft cover and hard cover. And again, this tank, because of the derp gun, has a long reload and a long aim time. And I'm looking at that Rheinmetall Panzer wagon, and I take him out for 1,600 damage and 1 kill right off the bat. So they are already down 1 scout tank right off the start of the match, and yeah, that felt good. So here we are on this match, and As you can see, the reload was really long. Now, this tank doesn't have a turret that traverses a full 360 degrees. It only does 180, so 90 degrees per side. And it is a decent tank to play, but it doesn't have a very good backup speed either. Which makes it very vulnerable once you shoot and get spotted to fall back into cover. So usually you have to, it's best if you always plan it out to drive forward to get away. So their EBR makes a nice big YOLO play, and I'm trying to auto aim and get him. I nick him for 157 damage with this splash. And the S3VS1 camping somewhere back in the G4 area. Kind of got a lucky shot on me, so I'm going to stay in cover here, hoping that Artie doesn't get me, because there's 3 Artie in the match, and then there's a EBR, so I'm waiting for the reload before I can do anything else. I get spotted, of course, because I pulled back, and he's going to get taken out here by the Progetto, I think. Or is it our EBR? EBRs and other light fast tanks, if you get spotted by them, especially playing the FV4005, it is meaning your death. Our Artie finally takes him out with a lucky shot, so I knew the S-Tier-VS1 was down in this area. So there's 2 bushes on either side of this house here. One here and one on the other side that a lot of TDs will camp in. I know I especially camp in. And I believe I was playing this live on Twitch, and I was asking the viewers of my stream which side of the building to blind shoot to see if I get lucky with a nice penetrating shot. And I believe we settled on the right side, or our right side, not or their left side. So I'm aiming in and I'm waiting. I'm thinking about it. Which side do I want to shoot? Side on that one, you can see the explosion. So that one did not hit anything and went completely into the dirt. And yeah, if you're looking at the team's deployment, so we're up 4-2, but we're not up by much. And they've got 2 tanks in the town, and we've only got a couple. And they've got a bunch of tanks down in the south here, and we've got a couple, but in the end, we don't really have good map position at all, which is kind of weird for this type of match. But in any case, you know, I'm top tier, and I'm going to do my best that I can. Blind fire the other side of the bush to see if there's anybody there. If he was on the other side and moved, or if I would have got lucky. The enemy M5355 is an amazing player. He got a lot of kills and a lot of damage in this match versus us, which was really kind of shocking that we would let them go. So I spot their Ferdinand. So I didn't spot him. Our Ferdinand gets spotted up on that little hill over there at D2, E2, and he's not moving. So I auto aim in, and I'm going to fully aim this shot because he's just sitting there, and I'm going to hit him for 775. So this tank does similar damage when it doesn't pen to the tier 7 tank. But when it does pen, you're looking at 1900 damage, as I did do that Ramatar Panzerwagen. Spot their Badger. He's just sitting there out in the open as well, in a nice spot for me to shoot. So I just got to wait for this long reload, which is about 25 seconds. And I'm going to guess that he's still there, and I didn't see an explosion, so I hit him there directly. And the Ferdinand has drifted out of my draw range. Oh, no. And then there's the Badger once again. So he did take some damage from me. Took about 1/3 of his hit points. So we've lost the town. And their Renegade T95 and ISU-152 are now pushing in closer to us. These guys had fallen back. And our guys down in the south had won, but they're pushing into all their tanks down there. So we're not in exactly the best of shape at this point. We are now losing by 1 tank. 5-6. And I can see that, you know, they've got 3 tanks here, but 2 of them are one-shots. The T95 and the Renegade are really low damage rolls for taking them out. So we just need to be patient and see what we can do to take them out of the match. The ISU-152 was on full health, so we've got to be careful because he's got a really big gun too. He's also got a 152mm gun, so he'll do big damage when he penetrates to anything. The main thing that I'm worried about is getting spotted because Artie can get me. I can't run away because my backup speed is really, really slow. I just need to be careful, and if I spot something, make sure I'm fully aimed in and take it. I cannot afford to miss any shots. So the Renegade is spotted just up on the hill there, and I believe Artie will take him out in a second. I get spotted, so I fall back. Gotta get behind cover. No, Artie misses him. It stuns him nonetheless. And their Conquer gun carriage takes him out, which is great. So now we are tied 7-7. And our south push. Look at our south push. We had 3 guys. Now we're down to 1. We've got this TD here, the Sheridan and me in this bushes. And they're now pushing down the south to the gap. But again, their guys are fairly weak. So whatever is going on in the south is taking a toll on their vehicles. So spot the ISU-152. Now my plan here is to get to this back edge here and get that guy in a crossfire, but the ISU-152 gets him, or gets the, where's the SU? So the 1390. Okay, so he got hit. I took out the ISU-152. Wow, there's a lot of stuff going on. It's hard to pay attention sometimes. So our Sheridan got killed. I killed the ISU-152. I took a little bit of damage myself from the ISU-152 as well. So I traded 460 for 400 points of damage. We've won the north now. So the north is completely open. These 2 guys were last spotted down at E2. And they had 2 guys down in the JK23 there. So we need to worry about what they have available. So I've moved up. And I'm thinking, I've got a pretty good view range. I asked the team, you want me to go spot? Because we know these guys were here, so we need to get up to this spot here to spot and see if we can see them. The Scorpion G, though, he says no. He wants to spot for the team, which is great, because he's got full health, I believe. No, he's not. He's only at 28%. But in any case, you know, I'm thinking we could work together on this and get the job done as long as he doesn't die. So I'm pre-aiming in on that hill where they were last spotted, because there's a good chance that they might still be there, but then on the same note, they may have relocated to, you know, maybe over here or down here or down here. We don't know. Like, we need to get eyes on them, and we need to do that pretty quick. So I'm just trying to pull up into cover, using soft cover to keep myself hidden, thinking that the Ferdinand might still be up on that hill, trying to take pot shots on us once we come into range. So I'm sitting on 2 kills and 2,931 damage. So not bad at this point. But we'll see what happens. So the Scorpion G sits on the top of the hill there. And he is trying to spot. The best he could do is probably right around here. Which isn't bad. Which is a good spot for him. But he needs to get closer because their camo values are going to be higher. Communication in this match was absolutely perfect. You can see there I messaged thoughts to the team. Thoughts? What do we want to do? We can't just sit here and wait for the time to expire. We got 6 minutes, but we got to decide on what we wanted to do. Now, communication like this in random battles without a platoon of friends is difficult at best. A lot of times it just doesn't work. People aren't really interested in it, or there's people who are chat banned that can't talk and communicate. So you can see here the Scorpion G says, take my spot, and I say affirmative, because he says I think what he's planning to do is he's going to drive down this ridge right here by the swampy water. And if I'm on this spot, then he'll spot anything over here and down here, and I'll be able to shoot from that perfect spot. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to just take the little bit of a leisurely drive up that way just to make sure that I have the hill between me and anything that might be spotting me over there. I give a little warning of careful to the Scorpion G, because, you know, the longer he survives to light stuff for us, because Scorpion G has amazing view range, the better it is for the entire team. So I'm using the bush, and there's the Ferdinand. He gets spotted, and I fully aim in and take him out of the match. Not a very big pile of damage, 178, but still takes 1 gun out of the game. And that's 1 down, 4 to go. Scorpion G takes a splash, so he was spotted by the enemy artillery. I just don't know where the Badger is, so I'm going to guess that the Ferdinand had spotted him. Where I'm ping where the arty shot from is what we're asking, and he says down in there, K3. So we just got to wait for our arty to see if they can blind fire that area. And our arty, the M5355, says affirmative, so he's ready to go. He's pre-aiming. And I am waiting to see who else the Scorpion G can spot. We still don't know where the Badger or the STRVS-1 at this point. So it's a little bit tricky. So there's the STRVS-1. He is damaged, but he's behind those buildings. I have no chance of getting it. There's the Badger. Okay, so we spot the Badger. fully aim in. I fire, and I only hit him for 719. He gets hit again for Artie for a whole pile. And the S3VS1 gets taken out by our M53, M55, who is on the ball. So now it's 12 versus 9. So I know where the Badger is. He's just on the other side of that hill there. And the Scorpion G gets taken out by the enemy M53, 55 because he was on their ball. And yeah, so now it's me and TD, the SU-152, who is really in a bad spot over on the 0 line to do any spotting over here. But I think his plan is to go all the way around and flank them in the back and see what we can do. So I let the team know that I'm going to try and spot the Badger, so Artie can get ready to shoot that position. The Conquer gun carriage says he's aiming E3, so the Badger's last known position. So here we go. We're going to see what we can do for spotting without getting killed. I am only at half health, but I'm a 2-shot best. One for the Badger and one for Artie, if that's the way it's going to be. I do have a repair kit, so I can get away. But again, the backup speed on this thing is terrible, so my best bet is to run away forward. So I'm going to poke around this side of the hill here. And there's the Badger. I can spot him. He's only at 11 health. And I'm going to snap a shot into him for 212 and take him out. Sorry, he was at 11%. Take him out of the match. And the M5355 kills our M5355, who looked like he had been pushing up all the way up to this C lane here. So he must have been spotted as well. But that kind of saved me from getting an Artie splash, because I think by them taking out the Artie and firing there, they were not able to risk a shot on me at the same time. So I'm going to drive down into this little dippy area here and see what I can spot. We're down to the last 2 minutes of the match. This one has been going on non-stop. This is great. I'm at 4 kills, 4,000 damage. Just us 4 versus 2 artilleries left in the game. Who knows what's going to happen. So I'm trying to use the bushes and soft cover to help keep myself hidden from view. Artillery is known not to have very good view range, so I should be pretty good at this point. I spot there M53, 55 in the dip. He's aiming in. I take a snapshot before fully aimed in for 450 damage. That puts me at 4,490 damage. Their other M53, M55 takes a shot, hits me for 657, but I've got about a 25 second reload before he's ready to fire again. 5 kills, 4,490 points of damage. He gets spotted. He's running in towards the ISU-152, who takes him out of the match. And that there is the end, with the win. Let's look at the end plates for both matches. So for the SU-152 match, I got a Master Badge Ace Tanker, Demolition Expert Fighter, and Fire for Effect, as well as the High Caliber and Tanker Sniper for doing so much damage over 300 meters. For the FV4005 match, I got a Master Badge Second Class Fire for Effect Fighter, High Caliber for doing the most damage in the match at 5,084. So the difference between the two matches was less than 10 points of damage between those two matches, both with 5 kills, both with over 5,000 points of damage. I hope you guys enjoyed watching these videos. If you did, give it a thumbs up in the down below. Don't forget to subscribe, because I do release a new video replay every Sunday. I'd like to see you in the next one. Take care.